Hello, Poppet.
All right,
How are you, matey moo?
I'm good. What are we working with? What time is it over there?
It's 9:01 p.m. on
Oh,
Monday night.
that's pretty reasonable. I feel like that's okay.
Yeah. Well, we wanted you to have a sleep in. We didn't want you to have to set it up an early alarm and then your alarm goes off and you're like, bloody ash, I have to get
I
out of
do. I
stupid
do.
bed.
It means the world. Last week I had to get up at 5:15. It was the first and last time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, not in any way, shape or form.
Unless
How are you?
I'm so good. I got up at 5:15 a.m. this morning, but it's Australia and I live on the beach and I did yoga, so that's an okay.
I mean, that is literally
nice.
living the life. That is very
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna move some stuff around here and see if I can get some more light on my face.
Yeah.
Kind of.
That's beautiful. You need to get what I've got, which is one of these things that like
Yeah.
puts the light on you.
I've got someone's. Oh, my light's gone weird. Somebody sent me one of those the other day for like a day, and then they wanted it back.
What do you mean they wanted it back?
That wasn't very helpful. So I'll get one. I'll get
One, man.
Right.
If you didn't live so far away and plane journeys weren't far, I would send you mine as a friend to friend, you know.
I know you would.
Just want you to be luminescent in your Instagram live, except if you're doing one with another radio station in Australia, in which case just go in a cupboard.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And all that crap. Well, how are you, my friend? How's I'm presuming you're in London at home. How is it? How are you feeling?
It's good. Things are starting to sort of open up more now. They've been doing that for a little while. There's talk of the government the other day said that we were going to be allowed to do gigs outside. Don't know what that means yet. They just said it. They didn't say anything else about it. So we're looking forward to whatever that means, because now they've said it, surely it means something fun.
What would your dream outside gig look like if you could design an outdoor gig, James Bay? What is it?
It would look like when Led Zeppelin played Nebworth in like 1978 or something. Like basically just a massive, or like Hyde Park, like I don't know. Yeah, when it would just be loads of. I've done some sort of gigs a few years ago in like big forests. You do that in the UK. We played to like 10,000 people in a forest. There's loads of trees.
So it's like a clearing in the middle of a forest, or is everyone in the forest? They can't see you because the trees are blocking the way.
It's not like people looking from behind trees. There's a clearing. There's a good clearing.
Okay, that would be very cool though, but I feel like it would require how do I say this in a G-rated way? If you're gonna have some sort of gig in a forest, I feel like there should be some sort of partake. You know. Anyway.
Oh, I get it. I'm with you.
Do you know what I mean?
But even though that's the case, see, I was thinking climbing trees would be fun, but when you mix those two things, we're getting a bit risky.
I know, and then insurance claims are going to come through from fans, and you'll turn of them. And I got you. Well, we love Chew on My Heart.
Oh.
What a joyous explosion of love, devotion, and happiness.
I'm very pleased that you like it. And look, I have to say it because I want to acknowledge it, but I'll say it only quickly. I'm very gutted. Yes, we're doing this, but I'm so gutted. I would be in Australia, wouldn't I? There's no two ways about it.
Of course you would, obviously.
So I'm very sad that I can't be there, but I'm very glad that you like the song. And I'm hearing from all sorts of lovely Australian folk that they're enjoying it, which is a dream for me because I like to be over there.
Yeah, and you know that Aussies won't lie to you because we don't lie. So if it was a shit song, we'd probably be like, bit shit, but we might like the next one, James.
There's a little caveat. Yeah,
we would.
Yeah. But I appreciate it. And I'll get there. I'll be there. It'll happen.
Yeah, of course you will. I believe you. I absolutely believe you. I mean, you might be forced to have some crazy 2-week quarantine situation when you arrive, but worst places to be, you know, at least the weather will be good.
Let's quarantine on a beach. Is that a thing? Can you do it? Is that like?
Yeah, no, the beaches I think are what really fucked us over because it was Bondi Beach at the start of this like lockdown period. The Aussies couldn't get it and they were like, oh, we're just going to the beach. And then 10,000 people closed the beaches. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, okay, we're going to open the beaches, but like you can only exercise. And everyone's just like surfing, lying on the sand, close the beaches again. Australia, we can't stay away from the beach.
But look at those beaches. We get it.
I understand. So it is a very... Obviously, you've written love songs before. We know this. But there is something different about this. This is very much like cut your heart open in a good way. I was going to say like run through the fields, but literally the video, you are running through the fields.
The field in that video, I have to say, I sort of want people to know that you look at that wheat field and across the top of it, it looks very flat and even, and the farmer's done a wonderful job, even though I went in and ruined it all. Lovely job, really done a great job. The ground in that field that all that wheat is growing out of, that surface, the surface of that floor, it goes like this, right? But it's all like hard mud, right? Running, being chased by a quad bike with a massive camera on it. And they said, don't slow down or you'll get run over by the quad bike.
That's very scary.
Okay, I don't know how I didn't roll an ankle every step, but I managed it. But I did end up, as a result, we get a very sort of lanky, gangly version of it. I can be quite a neat runner, not in Infinite.
I thought that was part of the effect, that you were like falling over it. So high on love that you can't even run straight.
High on love and helium. And yeah.
Did you do a bit of the breathing in the helium from the balloons?
Didn't let me. Shame. Because I could have done a rendition of the song. That would have been incredible. But anyway, yeah, it was fun doing that video. And there was they had this amazing like filter over the camera the entire time that made all these little bits of rainbow. They look like they're done in post, but it was actually done.
I thought it was done in post.
No, he had like a weird bit of bendy plastic over the lens the whole time, so that it was always, it refracted the light the entire time.
Surely it's less work to just do it raw and then fix it get someone else to just fix it in post.
I think they wanted to commit to that look so much that like they just thought, let's just do it the whole time, because you don't want to go back on that kind of thing once you've done it. Anyway, it was very fun to do the video, and the song is, there's some real lyrics in that song, but I love, because
when you read the lyric, the title, I thought it was like you idiot chewed on my heart and spat it out, and then I with my best friend.
I think well, I know that when we sat down to write the song, played out the sort of, found the chords, decided, I like these chords, these are good, started sort of la 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 doing some melodies and stuff. And as words start to form, Chew on My Heart was the first thing that came into the room. And it sort of, it landed or whatever. I sang something that sounded like it and went, Chew on My Heart's a mad thing. Like what? It sort of hit us really. It sort of got me really, it sort of hit us hard. And we were like, I remember saying, whatever we do, let's write that, because that just, it's like, for me, it's like when I first heard that Kings of Leon were releasing a song called Sex on Fire. And you're like, that sounds terrifying. I want to hear it. I want to know what that is. How are they putting that together? So I enjoyed, I love that kind of thing. That's a sort of, I found on the whole, and you'll hear eventually, like on this whole third album, as far as any boundary that I've pushed, it's lyrics. That's the boundary I've pushed. I'm always trying to do something a bit different and evolve in some way and change something and hold this thing the same, but do this thing different. It was very much sort of sounds on the second album on from the first album, it sounded different. But I realized on this one, it was how I wrote, like lyrically, that was different. Like, so yeah, Chew on My Heart. That's the kind of thing that if that arrives in the room, I'm like, we're having it. Let's go.
You just grabbed it from the ether.
And it, it felt, I suppose, as far as working out what I wanted to write about that day, it just felt like a great sort of lefty version of saying in a song, I'm madly in love with you, and I want to be sort of selfish about that, and I just want more and more and more. I liked that. That worked out for me.
Now, I don't talk about personal things, but I mean, you write a song like that for somebody. Did that person, like, surely they can't give any actual criticism or feedback. They've just got to say, great song. Because if my husband wrote me a song and then played it for me, and then, if I wrote my husband a song and then I play it for him and he was like, oh, that lyric in the second verse doesn't quite work and the melody needs work, I would be like, so when you write a song like that for someone, surely they just go, love it, babe.
Well, no, I played it to my girlfriend, and it was one of the very rare occasions. And I'm a terrible critic of what I make, and I'm going to say it like this. Luckily, she is as well, and that works incredibly. As mad as that might sound to people, you need somebody, because it's very easy for me to tear apart everything I make and go, it's all awful. And then it's very easy for everybody else to kind of say, it's all great. No, you're doing great. Just carry on. It doesn't really mean anything. You need another person who's going to be really, really real with you and really honest with you. And my girlfriend's absolutely that. And yet, this song, first time I played it, she loved it. And that was a very cool moment. Those moments are so rare that might have been the second time it's ever happened. I don't even know if it, but that's okay. You want that. You really, as confusing as that might be to anybody.
I agree. I hear it.
You know about, you get it. But you need somebody who's going to really be honest with you. And she loved it first time she heard it, which is amazing.
But it does make it harder. Like my husband, who's just had a shower, and I could hear him having a shower. And before he logged on, I was like, "Can you guys hear the shower? Like, I'm really sorry. We're a professional setup here." But he works in radio as well, and he, to me, is like the best there is. So I hate it when, like we're together and the kind of something I've made comes on, and I'm like, trying to change the station because I can't. When you trust someone's feedback, he's always so kind about it, but you almost just like want them to just believe that everything you do is great, and
yeah. No, I know all about that. Absolutely, you do. But it's that weird thing where you want them to just think everything's great, and yet you want them to tell you the absolute truth.
Honest truth. It's the best.
At the same time, it's very hard to. Yeah, it's very hard, but it's very relevant. All of that stuff, it seems.
And speaking of learning and growing, you chose to do something really fun over lockdown, and that is give guitar lessons. Now, I don't play guitar, but I watched a bit of them. And you were like you're quite a patient teacher, I would imagine, if I had a guitar in front of me.
I taught guitar for a year when I was 18. After I finished school, I didn't know what I was doing next, and I spent a year teaching people how to play the guitar. And it was cool. It was fun. I didn't mind it, I quite enjoyed it. I didn't have anything else to do. And like with these lessons that I've been doing, it's hard to, you don't know who's getting involved. Are they really, really good at the guitar and they just want to follow what your fingers are doing and get the gist of it and crack on? Or have they just picked up a guitar? And I don't know if it's asking a lot, but I sort of wanted to make it work for as many people as possible. So of course you've got to sort of have like patience and all that stuff and just kind of go slow, but be detailed enough at the same time. There's a strange sort of balance to get right, but and also I didn't want it to. I could have gone on for an hour or more on each song, and we can't be doing that. That's when everybody's just bored. So I was trying to keep it. I'm sort of watching the clock the whole time, like, okay, you're at 20 minutes, and trying to give them a version of the song as well. But it's been fun. It's been really fun to do it, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's nice to be. We've been in this mad lockdown, so it's just been nice to be in touch with everybody.
And what's your favorite song to play on the guitar that's not your own song?
That's a very good question. There's a load. Got a guitar right here. Excuse me.
Oh, what are the chances?
What are the chances of that? I do like Sex on Fire. What's it do? I like that song because then the chorus.
What a song! Where are Kings of Leon at? P.S.
Yeah, they need to get it together, really, don't they? I think they're just living in incredible houses in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, I get it.
Did you not run into them? You recorded in Nashville, didn't you? This song?
I did. I recorded in Nashville. I think they are very wise and they keep it very private and chill in their lovely houses, rather than go roaming the streets, seeing if I'm there to hang out with. But,
don't sell yourself short, mate. I mean, who knows?
But
maybe he's out there looking for you now, and you've left, and he's like, "Come on, James, where are you, dude?"
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll get it together one day. But I did. I made all this music in Nashville. It was strange. I started at the end of February in Nashville. First couple of weeks were great. The second couple of weeks were great, except the second couple of weeks, the difference was everyone was sort of looking at their phone now and again. There was these headlines about this thing called coronavirus that was suddenly like a real problem. So the atmosphere changed slightly, but we powered forward and we got everything done in the studio, which was cool.
I want to do one or two fan questions because, people are sending them through and I don't, Oh my gosh, this is a great question. How would you describe your new album in 3 bands?
Wow.
So using 3 different bands, how would you describe? What a great question.
It's so hard to do 3, but I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Ooh, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Kind of old, but fantastic. I'm gonna go. Oof. Just trying to think of all the music on this album. It's not. It's an artist rather than a band. Do you remember Ben Howard? Do you remember Ben Howard?
Yeah.
Music? Yeah, come on.
Only Love is still one of my favorite songs of all time.
Unreal. Amazing. Our first album, Every Kingdom. What brilliant. I'm going to give you that one, and then I'm going to go. Ooh. Oh, it's so hard. I'm going to go another old school one. I'm going to go Fleetwood Mac, because Fleetwood Mac is just fantastic, and they inspire everything I do.
Shout outs to my cousin Jeffrey, who I took to Fleetwood Mac a couple of years ago. He's got 2 kids, and he was like, night off. Got totally blotto, standing on the chair, having the best night of his life. And every time I see him, he's like, how good was Fleetwood?
I love that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, mate, last question before I let you go. Where are we at with the album? Like, have you chosen the font of the cover of it?
Not yet. Cover is in the works. Actually, don't have that yet, and there is still some mixing to do. That is the genuine answer, and that's been the answer a few times. And it reminds me of when Haim put out their first album, and they were really, ahead of their first album. Everybody in the UK was obsessed with Haim, and they spent the best part of a year. That's probably an exaggeration, saying we're still mixing, and it was an amazing album when it came out, so the mixing was worth it. But hopefully, all the mixing I'm doing will be worth it for my 3rd album. Fingers crossed, because I'm still mixing.
It's so funny you bring that up. I was speaking to the Haim girls a couple of days ago, and we talked about you and your cover of Forever that you did, and they were saying how much they love you. And Esty said James Bay is Bay, and I was like, pretty sure he said that before, Esty.
Where were we? I can't remember where we were. I was somewhere in America playing a festival that they played at, and I was watching later that night. Taylor Swift was headlining. I was watching her set, and a lovely couple came up behind me, tapped me on the shoulder, and they said, "Hi, we're Haim's parents, and we saw your cover of Forever, and we thought it was just incredible." And I was like, "This is an honor to meet you." It's a good moment. Very cool.
That is the best. What a great story. So wonderful. Well, matey, we're going to love you and leave you. But thank you so much for taking time early to sing for us and to share with us. We love you. We can't wait for the album, and we can't wait to see you in your second home of Australia soon.
I'll be there. I'll be on the next flight that is allowed without quarantine and all that stuff, hopefully.
Sometime post 2021. Who knows what the future holds, but we will have at the very least a James Bay album to get us through, and I know that you'll get here when you can.
I will do. Lovely to see you, Ash.
Great to see you. Take care of yourself and stay safe and healthy.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. You just press the X because here we go. Well, isn't he the nicest human in the world? Thank you guys so much for hanging out. How great was that performance from James? Chuck us a follow if you don't already follow us. We're going to whack this up on our IGTV so you can watch it later and relive all the moments of his gloriousness. You can listen to our show anytime at ashlondonlive.com. We love you. Keep an eye out for James's new album whenever it comes. Get his new single, Chew on My Heart. And thank you for being a wonderful audience. Sending love to you all over the world from Sydney, Australia. Mwah. See you guys.